morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our show, The Truth Uncovered. Today, we are sharing an important message for Washington, especially for a man who's back in the Oval Office after this term, and that is our President Donald Trump. We hope that this message resonates loudly and clearly in the entire American society, and world will take absolute note of it. Ladies and gentlemen, this individual who's depicted on your screen is Sergio Gore. However, let's find out who's he in essence. He's a person recently nominated by Donald Trump for the position of United States Ambassador to India. This appointment signifies more than a typical diplomatic assignments. Well, it represents a declaration of hostilities and a comprehensive confrontation against India. Ladies and gentlemen, the role of an ambassador is ostensibly straightforward: to strengthen alliances, enhance trade, and foster diplomatic relations with the host country. However, President Trump has contravened a fundamental principle of international relations by appointing an inexperienced individual to a significant nation, that is Bharat, that does not tolerate novices in diplomatic affairs. The appointee, Sergei Gore, lacks any prior diplomatic experience. His sole qualification is his proximity to Donald Trump as a close aide, or I would say a lackey. He possesses no background in negotiation or diplomatic training. Consequently, his function is not to de-escalate situation, that is the tariff war between US and India, or even resolve the conflicts between the two countries, but rather to serve as an instrument that potentially undermines India. Well, this represents a strategy to exert pressure on India from the American side. By dispatching a political figure such as Sergio Gore, President Trump is explicitly indicating, India, you lack respect, and this is unacceptable to us. This individual will advocate for more tariffs against India, hinder investments in India, and compel all the US corporations such as Apple, etc., to withdraw from India. His focus will be on our information technology sector, our pharmaceutical industry, and our agriculture industry, aiming to target India's all the vulnerabilities. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let us also recall the characterization by Elon Musk of this gentleman. Elon Musk referred to this individual as a snake. The reason for this designation stems from Sergio Gore's actions in obstructing Elon Musk's business ventures in India and instigating conflicts between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. If a long-standing supporter of Trump labels someone as a snake, it definitely raises concerns about his stance towards Narendra Modi and the Indian government. While India seeks to attract US investors, Sergio Gore's primary objective would be to discourage and make sure that such investors are expelled from India and they are not able to do much of a trade with India. Trump has already aligned himself with Russia and is currently utilizing India as a leverage point. He sees India enhancing its relations with China, engaging in currency trade with Russia, and participating in BRICS currency discussions. He also sees India coming closer to Japan. Well, consequently, Trump strategically positioned his loyalists in Delhi to obstruct these initiatives. This ambassador is unlikely to negotiate or report with neutrality. Instead, he will function as Trump's personal enforcers, rather his personal agenda. This development presents unfavorable news to Mr. Modi. Evidently, scandals are emerging, with the Adani scandal serving as a merely initial issue. The involvement of Ambani family is also anticipated to come to the light. The internal divisions within the Bharatiya Janata Party are becoming increasingly apparent, and it would be prudent not to be surprised if these circumstances precipitate a change in leadership of Mr. Modi. Such leadership transitions are rarely executed without behind the scene influence from an influential envoy, an influential country, a deep state of an influential country with specific agenda. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is precisely what Americans did in Iran in the early 50s. If you remember, a very popular leader called Mossadegh was dethroned in a conspiracy hatched by the United Kingdom, which paid the Americans a paltry sum of £1 million to oust the most popular leader. This was just because Mossadegh declared that all the oil and the gas assets belongs to Iran and they cannot be under the direct ownership of United Kingdom. He challenged the foreign dominance in favor of his own country, a display of nationalism that Americans did not like. But ladies and gentlemen, that game will not be allowed to be played in India at all. India will battle it and with this enormity defeat this belligerent Trump and his snakes and scorpions in comprehensive manner that Americans will remember for the ages to come. And my message to the local political parties who think that they can be conduits with President Trump, let this be a warning to all Jaichans in India, all Mir Jafars in India, and all the Latian Delhiites and the leftists. Well, guys, you are playing with fire. The storm is coming and it's not very far away. But India will not sit idly by these. We have our own Brahmastras to counter the storm. Our Brahmastras are the US Congress, the American industry, and above all, the Indian diaspora in America who have become all powerful. First, we will rely on our bipartisan support in the US, that is Congress. We have friends on both sides of the aisle, that is Democrats and Republicans, who understand the strategic importance of a partnership with USA. Unlike the petty politics of one self-conceited, haughty and undiplomatic man called Donald Trump. Secondly, we also have the backing of American industry. The very companies that Trump loyalists want to drive out of India are the ones who will stand with us. They know India is a vital market, a crucial partner. Elon Musk and many of his ilk understand the stupidity Trump is handing out to the entire world. The US courts have already given a verdict against the tariffs imposed by Trump. And he has the cheek to insult his own country's justice system, openly calling it myriad names. And thirdly, ladies and gentlemen, we leverage the strength of our Indian diaspora, a powerful and influential community in the United States that will not allow its home country to be bullied by an unprofessional, belligerent tyrant that is President Trump. So to Donald Trump, we have a message for you. Stay away from India. Do not attempt a regime change. You may have sent your snake or scorpions to deliver the venom, but India is not the country to be poisoned. We will strike back, and with our inherent strength and committed apolitical defense forces, if required. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the truth uncovered, and the storm is just beginning. Indians have to brace up to change the direction of the storm, no matter how severe it is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's for this particular thing. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you will take cognizance of it, and I hope you will all get united together to defeat these separatist forces, whether they are political parties, whether they are the leftists, whether they are the socialites or whatever in India, who've been benefited by the NGOs which have been funded by the deep state of United States. So thank you very much. Good morning and Jai Bharat, Jai Hind Ki Sena.
Please like and subscribe.